Niners -7, and the over-under is what, Nick?
45 and a half.
45 and a half. Okay. Go both of them. Will the Niners cover? And are you taking over? Go both.
My score prediction, I have the Niners covering, winning 28-17. And with all the questions, I haven't had the opportunity to bring this up, but I was doing the Faithful Fanatic podcast with Marco last night, and Marco brought up the point, if I were to – what area did the 49ers struggle with most last week against the Giants? Like, where did the Giants get most of their big plays?
The zone read.
The read option.
Yeah.
So the Eagles are desperate for a win. What if we see Jalen Hurts come out and start running the read option? Like, that kind of scares me. I didn't even think of that. And then Marco brought it up, and I was like, oh, my God, they look so pathetic trying to defend Daniel Jones in the read option. What if you see Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts lined up back there together to everyone's surprise? So that's kind of a scenario I can see unfolding where the 49ers just completely taken back. Like, where'd this come from? I don't know how likely that is, but I like the 49ers 28-17.
I think even with Wentz, the read option can be a little bit of an issue. He's not Hurts, but he is a little mobile. He had that game-tying touchdown last week against Cincinnati. And even with that being said, I don't think the 49ers have that much of a trouble. I do think they're going to run the ball a lot, so that hinders the amount of points they can score. So I don't know if they necessarily cover, but they win by at least 11. So I'll say under 45.5, but they do cover.
I like Wentz, and I think everything Shanahan said about Wentz is true. I think if you put Wentz on this team, he would be the MVP, and the offense would set records. I really do. I think he's built for the Shanahan offense. He grew up playing wing T in North Dakota. He's an old school quarterback. He's not a new age spread offense, get the ball, throw a quick pass. No, he's like Ben Roethlisberger. Put him under center, have him do play action, give him a deep drop, and let him throw the ball down the field while he takes hits because he's tough. I mean, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger would do well in this dink and dunk Philly offense. It's a Nick Foles offense. So as long as Doug Peterson is there, I don't have any faith in that offense. I think Robert Saleh and the Niners defense are going to snuff it and hold it to about 13 points. I do think there's something with Jalen Hurts. I don't think Doug Peterson's that into Carson Wentz because he hasn't constructed an offense that suits Carson Wentz. Shanahan's into him. I think Doug Peterson secretly was more into Nick Foles. And I think he's really intrigued with Jalen Hurts because he wants to run a more new age spread style RPO zone read offense. And I think it's probably ownership that loves Carson Wentz because they invested in him in all these different ways. So maybe they'll bring in Jalen Hurts, but if you bench Carson Wentz, then you're just one step away from getting fired yourself. I don't really know what Doug Peterson has left. He seems like he's kind of just going through the motions. Before I give my answer real quick, I don't know if I told yesterday on All49ers, but on this thing, but we talked to him on Wednesday. Every week, the coach talks to the visiting media, and he gets on the conference call, and we're like, hey, Doug, how you doing? And he goes, hey, guys, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good over here. How are you guys? It's like, what do you mean you're doing pretty good? You're 0-2-1. Usually when coaches are 0-2-1, they're like very tense and curt. And he was like, I won a Super Bowl. I got an extension. Life is grand. And I think that doesn't bode well for the Eagles. I don't know. So I'm saying 24-13 Niners. They cover, and it's going to be under.
Yep. Well, maybe he's happy at the Redskins or the Washington football team, is in first place with a 1-2 record. You know, it's not like their season's over. The NFC East is weak.
One thing I want to say, the thing that you got to worry about with the Eagles, they kind of remind me of the Tom Coughlin Giants from 10 years ago. And what I mean is that was the Niners' rival. And no matter what the freaking Giants record was, they played the Niners tough. And if you remember, in 2011, they played each other twice, once in the regular season where the Niners won at the end, and then once in the playoffs where the Giants won at the end. Then in 2012, the Giants fell off. They were no longer good. But they had one game early in the season against the Niners at Candlestick, and everyone expected the Niners to win that game. I picked the Giants to win, and I was like 24 at the time, and what I thought was, look, this is the Giants' opportunity to show themselves and the rest of the league that they're still champions, that they still have something left, and they were up for that game in ways that the Niners weren't. So the Eagles could have that. The only thing is, how many players are left from that championship team, really? Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Wentz,
Jason Peters,
Lane Johnson, like half a dozen. Do they really have championship pedigree, or is this some kind of weak team that's never reloaded. It might be that. So I don't think there's much to worry about here.
Grant, is that Niners-Giants game you're talking about? Was that the super low scoring one?
It was the 2012 where they used two quarterbacks, where they kept going back and forth between Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith. And after the game, everyone blamed Harbaugh for not sticking with one guy. I don't know if you remember that, but it was early.
Yeah, would you remember the final? Wasn't it like 9 to? I thought it was super low scoring if I'm remembering the correct game.
I think the Niners scored like 12. I think they got their butts kicked. Hold on.
Oh, really?
It was. Oh, dude, they lost 26-3. They got smacked. I don't know if you remember that game. God. No one expected that. The Niners were 4-1 at the time. They had just beaten the Jets and Bills. They came back and they lost 26-3 to the Giants. Remember that year the Niners couldn't win 3 games in a row? They would look dominant, and lose. They lost to Christian Ponder. Yep. Dominant, lose. So, I don't know. That was a different season. But, yeah, that happened. They lost to the Giants.
Going off of Doug Peterson, though, when they make a movie on that Eagles Super Bowl win, tell me John Hamm isn't going to play Doug Peterson in that movie. Just look him up.
I don't know if there's going to be a movie on that Eagles team, dude. That no one remembers. I almost forgot that they won the Super Bowl. That team does not matter anymore, you know. Some people kind of thought the Niners would become them, you know. They had the Super Bowl hangover and they freaking won it. I don't get it.